Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening. I'm actually just coming back on here. Wanting to explore my edge here and figured out hold space just for me and anyone who wants to jump in here. Tonight's just little convo here is, how do you want to spend your time? And this conversation is inspired because we are actually, now that I realize it, nearing the end of Mercury retrograde. Not only that, but we are about to enter into and honor the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year with the longest amount of sunlight resonating. and so Mercury retrograde is about that time, about, going back within, sign of communication, and also it happens to be ruler of Gemini, which is a sign of air, in which we are in right now in the season. And so we all have Gemini in our signs, in our charts. And again, I'm not real versed in astrology, but a lot of the things I have to share just that come through my own experience in my life with spirit, my walk and my journey. And one of the things, it's really like, what did you plant around the winter time, maybe 6 months ago, before we went into hibernation mode, and now it's spring and entering summer. And through all of that, hey Delarati, through all of that, what's coming forth for you that you are bringing up, that you planted the seeds back in December, and now it's either about to evolve or it's just coming new? And I actually just said a couple moments ago, I was something that I realized about myself was that I've at least given myself permission to play, given myself permission to at least take risk in my own way and investments. And whether or not it went in the direction that I initially expected it to, is not really the point, which is also a lesson to learn in ourselves. But you took a journey, you took a venture, you made an investment, not knowing the real outcome of how you were going to evolve, right? What was going to be involved through it all, especially with your participation into this venture. But now that you've had the experience, what have you taken it away? What have you taken away from it? What are you going to take away from it? And so that's just really the whole reason why the question comes up is how do you want to spend your time? What do you want to do spending your time doing? And how do you want to spend your time feeling is so important. I bring these key factors up because one of the things that I just want to highlight, and I just feel it's kind of important through illustration to kind of make you think about your own life and how it's coming through for you. But in essence, we only are through the example of, you're only in space, or you're only in your working hours, say 8-9 hours a day, and every hour of that counts, every moment of it counts. Even if you're somebody who runs their own business aside after your full time or something, or after school, whatever it is, right? You're doing a passion project, you're bringing it up to fruition, or you're doing the service that you've been called to do and you feel excited to do on your own time, right? Out of your own, schedule that you're giving. Time is the most precious commodity, and that is definitely something to keep in mind, especially because we're going into this June aspect, and then it comes back to fall, my friend. And then there's 2023. And going back to that 9 to 5 illustration, in my job, for example, we take all these calls throughout the day, and we only have, you have about, 8 hours, 9 hours, the amount of time you spend there, and then it takes about an hour and a half or 2 to go through a contract with somebody. And taking today specifically, Mercury retrograde, we had like 4 times that the calls were disconnected. We were either in the beginning of a conversation, in the middle of it, or towards the end of one. And those minutes count, because people are not expecting your phone call, right? And so you have to respect their time, and also likewise, right? We enter into a mutual space and we have a conversation here. And so oftentimes, especially if in this case, the technology was not working, we actually had to take a break throughout the day because we had to get to see what was going on. But in my mind, I was like, hey, it would be Mercury retrograde, right? And how are you going to let it impact you? Are you going to let that situation that you have no control over or what you didn't expect, or what you expected to happen and it didn't happen, right? Multiple ways of saying it. Bother you, throw you off your game, get you upset, that you spent all of your creative energy being upset and angry and throwing rocks at people and trying to pull teeth. And then, in effect, your energy, your vibe, it's not your words, it's your vibe, your vibration, that resonates throughout, that has more frequency and power to either attract or to repel what you've been trying to call in, or what is actually for you to bring in that you've already planted into the manifestation vortex, right? Follow Abraham Hicks. And the same way goes, like when you enter into conversation, when you enter into an energetic relationship with someone, something, someplace, that too is an exchange, right? And at some point, and my husband has been trying to teach me this, and I think I'm starting to finally get it in my work. I'm learning to heal my relationship with money. I am learning to have a healthy relationship with money and time and energy, right? Because all of this goes into whatever it is that you're bringing up, whether it's a goal or the end, whatever it is at the end of the stick that you're putting your time and your energy in. And one of it is that you have to learn how to cut your losses. If something you've been doing and practicing or whatever, it's either not moving forward, or it feels like you're pulling teeth, it's no longer fun, you dread going, or whatever. Again, there's always insert a lot of introspection here and prayer before you would make a decision. But I also say don't stay in it for like years, because it's also unhealthy, and then you're not really moving in the direction you're meant to, when maybe the time was set for a specific amount of time and purpose, and now it's time for you to move on. Did you take the hint? If not, girl, boy, you need to get moving, because you are the anchor, you are the crystal tower, you are the channel in which the wisdom, when people ask, what is my purpose, what am I meant to do here, it's wherever you are, you know, wherever you're meant to be, wherever you're called to be. And especially when you feel, the best way I can describe it is like when I get excited, or I'm able to stop and really appreciate the flowers, or I'm able to see the beauty in the moment and the gratitude that transpires through just either the exchange of a conversation or the act or of something that someone's done for me or me for them, something that's moved, where the vibrational field has, you know, really blossomed and multiplied infinitely, or infinitesimally, if it's that word. And I say this with my own sense because, like I said, I've allowed myself to play with certain things and explore things. And I want to say thank you for those who've reached out and also who've been reaching out. And it was just me not taking the step ahead to the next venture, to holding and framing that next container. And thank you, because, you know, we've opened our container for Divine Cosmic Journeys, the Starseed Temple. And again, any conversation, you're on the phone. Within the first 20 to 30 minutes when you should cap it. You know, my husband says, have a timeline on something so you hold yourself accountable, and whether or not you're on the path and trajectory of where you want to go. And if it's not, you got to hang up the call and move forward and try and go get the next one, right? And knowing if it's the right client that you want to work with, or the right space you want to go work in, right? Is it the right community? Is it the right timing? Rather than just trying to make something work over and over again through force when it's already been delivered to you. And one of my prayers for myself is, I want to create something that is of my own authentic expression, that comes out through my own sacred desire, through my own passion, that I could be tired, but the moment I hit that floor, the moment I hit that mat, the moment we hit the room, and I wanted to highlight and shout out to, you know, our yoga classes, because when I rewatch those videos that, you know, I've gotten permission to record, of course, I get excited because I get to see it from a different perspective. You know, when I'm leading and with you guys, it's a different, you know, I have to be in a different, you know, mindset. I'm not able to observe from the out. But, like, all of it comes together. It's not just me. It's me, you, the room, right? And we're all being channels. We're all receiving the energy. We're all giving that energy out and sharing it with each other. And that is what I, you know, thrive for. You know, what is it that you want to do? What is it? How do you want to spend your time? How do you want to feel doing it? And one of the things I noticed that whenever I'm about to get my cycle, physically I get bloated. And I can't really feel my core a whole lot, or I think I can't. So it makes it harder for me, and I kind of equate this to, like, having this habit too in my life where I am unable to really feel if this is a full yes moment. That not all the time, but there are some moments where maybe something piques my interest, but I can't understand how is this going to work? Why am I going to invest it? Why am I curious, right? But by the time the deadline comes through, and then after it passes by a day or two, I'm like, dang, I should have gotten it. Or you go to Costco, right, and you see the jacket, that pair of leggings, you see the lawnmower, or the pair of weights that was on discount for $350, right? And then you wait on it, and then you come back, you know it's gone off the shelf. And it's kind of really noticing, you know, have you realized for yourself, does it feel like an excitement, like fully yes moment, or even, you know what, why won't I just give myself this and see where it goes? Letting go of the expectations. And just pausing there for a moment to allow the sounds to come through. And I think I laugh because it took me 3 times to record this to kind of get in the flow that I was wanting to bring it through. And yes, I believe those are all my touch points that I wanted to do. Observe your time frame. Are you playing like the Gemini flirtatious, childlike child, of creative desire, curiosity, exploring life? And how are you going to take action to get out of your comfort zone? And on that note, thank you. Because I started posting pictures about the Divine Cosmic Journey Shoppe with the crystals, and I already gotten some shout outs that people want to take a look at them and see what crystals are calling out to them for them. And if you're interested, I'll be posting some of my stories until I feel ready to either do it live. We'll see what comes through. But I can't wait to share these treasures with you. And I'm going to leave it there for tonight and post this. Have a good night, and thank you so much for joining me.